celebrating 100th episode of Rahman Music Sheets. Exploring what remained unexplored.
What would you typically expect from a rock star title movies?
Like the other singers, I don't get the freedom to do what I want. This style, this note, this is the place, and this is how you have to sing.
First, I came and I heard the music.
Tracking milestones of an incredible journey spanning 30 years. Rahman Music Sheets. Hi friends, discover the top takes of the last 100 episodes of Rahman Music Sheets. They are sprinkled across this episode, so watch till the end to grab these musical moments. Being creative is not easy. More so if you are expected to hit the right note every time.
Hi, this is AR Rahman from India.
It's not easy for every track to be on the right track. You have to keep reinventing yourself. It's not easy being AR Rahman.
AR, 30 years and 300 soundtracks later, everyone wants to know, how do you compose music? Suppose a project comes to you. How do you go about it? What is the process?
First of all, try to go on a path which would excite me. And if it's a director, I would say, okay, take Rockstar. Rockstar was composed a couple of years back. What would you typically expect from a Rockstar title movie? Is all distortion guitars and drums, but what we wanted to achieve was, what is the character and where is he coming from? So when you go deeper into that stuff, then the music comes from the core of the character. And when it comes out, it also needs to take the screenplay or the story forward sometimes. And sometimes it could be celebrating that feeling. And so it's a mixture of many different things. At the same time, having a song which people can hold on to and which would connect to their lives, where they could sing and enjoy the song.
A tireless journey of resilience that started more than 4 decades ago.
I live around this area. Nothing much has changed for the past 20-25 years. Of course, there's a new airport, beautiful airport. There's internet, there's TV, but everything seems the same. Same posters, clutter, but beautiful people and lovely restaurants.
Ilayaraja probably is very fast, and in terms of there's an attitude in his music which is very different for those times. It used to break lots of this thing, But in sheer presentation, in aesthetics, for want of a better word, I think Rahman's aesthetics are beyond compare to any music director. But I don't think Raja sir's melodies are presented in the same with the same quality of aesthetics.
This red building has replaced the house where Rahman was born and spent his early childhood. His father, R.K. Shekhar, was a well-known music composer and arranger. Rhythms ran in his blood. Notes for him were a child's play.
அவங்க அப்பா வாசிக்கிறப்ப அதையே வாசிக்கிறது, அப்புறம் அதே டியூனை மாற்றுறது, இவரே மாற்றிடுவார் ஹார்மோனியத்தில். அவங்க அப்பா அங்கேருந்து வந்து பார்ப்பார், என்ன இது நம்ம டியூனே வேறு மாதிரி, அதே டியூனில் மியூசிக் அவர் போடுவார். அப்படி ஒரு குழந்தைல தான் ஞானம் கடவுளுடைய.
He was known as Dilip. His parents were Hindu. A shy, reticent child leading a sheltered life surrounded by musical instruments.
we used to fly kites and all. Like I used to help him in rolling the threads and all, and then we used to go to top floor and then fly kites, and then even like he used to play cricket. I used to be with him, shuttlecock. Even my mom used to accompany us. We all had a very happy life.
Just when it seemed nothing could go wrong, destiny intervened. At the age of 9, Dilip lost his father. Gradually, school became secondary, not by choice, but by compulsion. He had to start earning for his family.
அப்போ என் பையன் வாசித்தா தான் எங்களுக்கு ஒர்க்கு நடக்கும். ஸ்டுடியோவில் போயிட்டு வாசிக்கணும், இல்லை செட் பண்ணணும். அப்போ யாருக்குமே எங்களுக்கு தெரியாது. இவர் தான் போய் செட் பண்ணி கொடுப்பாரு எல்லாருக்கும். அதே மாதிரி டோனெல்லாம் போட்டு கொடுப்பாரு.
Even though he was not very good at studies and he wanted to go to school, but my mother insisted that he goes and plays because she needed the money to run the family. So that was a very heart-crunching situation.
அப்போ என் பையன் வாசா தான் எங்களுக்கு ஒர்க்குன்னு நினச்சிட்டு நான் அதெல்லாம் விட்டுட்டேன். ஸ்கூலை விட்டு நின்றுப்பா அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. இல்லை இவர் அவங்க அப்பா இறந்த உடனே அந்த காம்போலாம் கொண்டு வந்திருந்தார் சிங்கப்பூர்லேருந்து.
Dilip had to drop out of school. From now on, he was to learn all his lessons from life and his lifetime of music.
It was a very steep decision where I was half-heartedly leaving my school campus, high school campus, and say that what's going to happen to me.
Besides working as a session musician, he started composing advertising commercials. To experiment with sound and rhythm, to evolve into a composer, he wanted a studio of his own. He acquired the space somehow, but had no money to buy equipment. His mother came to his rescue and bought him his first mixer and recorder. Roja, his first film assignment, was recorded on this basic infrastructure. His first film song, Chinna Chinna Aasai.
ஃபஸ்ட்டு அது கேட்டோன்னே நான் அழுதுட்டேன். இந்த மியூசிக் கேட்டோன்னு.
ஏன் அழுதுட்டீங்கம்மா?
ஃபஸ்ட்டு ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காரு, அதை போட்டு என்ன அறியாமல் நான் அழுதுட்டேன். அது மாதிரி
என்னை இந்த பூமி சுற்றி வர ஆசை, சின்ன சின்ன ஆசை. உயிரே உயிரே இன்று உன்னோடு கலந்து விட்டேன்.
I sang the Uyire all the Tuhire also in Hindi. He called me and said I will have to change Tuhire because the label, audio label, they were complaining that all South Indian singers have come, so we want somebody from the north also to be included in the soundtrack. So he asked my permission. That is something I really appreciate.
Rahman's theme for Bombay introduced him to the world. Over the next decade, he composed music for more than 50 films. Kanathil Muthumittal, directed by Mani Ratnam, was released in 2002. It won 6 national awards, including Best Music Award for Rahman. This was the film when Rahman's elder sister AR Rahman sang for him for the first time.
He's very strict, and when it comes to me, he's stricter than the other singers. I don't know the reason and all. And whatever he say, not perfect, I have to sing. I don't get the freedom to, like the other singers, I don't get the freedom to do what I want. This style, this note, this is the place, and this is how you have to sing. This kind of, it's usually with him like that.
Okay, when he won Oscars, I'm sure you and entire family was watching it on television. What was your reaction?
This is the 1000th time I'm answering this question.
Don't answer them. Then don't answer. Don't answer.
He's working in a medium that is so full of pleasure and drive, especially movie music, you know. And of course he comes partly out of a pop jingle sensibility, which is all about selling and appeal and kind of all that kind of stuff. And yet there's another side of him which is very meditative, you know, and very spiritual.
The year was 2000. Rahman was already a huge star in India, a place he had earned by sweating blood. That's when he was offered to compose for Bombay Dreams.
Should we do any number from this?
Or whatever.
At the peak of his film career, Rahman shifted to London to work with Andrew Lloyd Webber, an English composer and impresario of musical theatre.
It's a tradition to break a coconut.
It was hard for me. It was a sacrifice for my family, for me, because I had to literally live in London, and it was not a cheap ticket to London. And literally I learned many things. I learned how to do laundry, how to make coffee, how to make an omelette, because unlike India where you have many people doing your things, it's all about independent, existence. And so all these things, and the cold. I'm so used to wearing one layer of dress, and there you have to wear like 3-4 layers in winter. And for me, it was it felt completely different. And I didn't have my studio, so I had to walk over to another place which Andrew kindly donated, which was on top of the Palace Theatre, which ran Les Miserables. And I would go there and sit alone in the night, pass through security, and then walk through all the drunken British people out there, because a lot of pubs were there. We'd walk back to the flat which he gave. So all these things were completely, sometimes threw me off, sometimes it made me stronger and more versatile, I would say, in my lifestyle.
I can say as a composer myself, and I wanted to produce him here because I just was such a fan of his music, and is that he's the most extraordinary melody writer, but he writes melodies in a way that a Western composer can't.
2006, Lord of the Rings opened in Toronto. This musical further sharpened his skills, made him adapt to global perspectives of sound.
Bombay Dreams actually brought me Lord of the Rings, the musical again, to co-compose, which was completely, which didn't have anything to do with Indian music. And that was a whole new ball game. That's when I felt like how deep can you go into a piece of music. Here we do some music and we like it, that's it. There you have to do something and go deep into it. And not necessarily it is positive sometimes. It is something dark music. It's about, golems and Middle Earth and darkness, which was not my cup of tea. But then life is about both sides. It's about the Noor and Benur, I would say.
लोगों ने मुद्दत तक कहते रहे कि नहीं बस फिर अब वो रिपीट होगा, अब ये रिपीट करने लगा। कुछ नहीं हुआ, आज तक रिपीट नहीं हुआ। वो आज तक फ्रेश है और नया है और ताज़ा है और वो करता चला जा रहा है। और बहुत अच्छी बात है कि उसका ध्यान सिवाय म्यूज़िक के उस आदमी को किसी और चीज़ का ख्याल नहीं है। उसका रोना उठना बैठना सोना खाना पीना सब कुछ उसका म्यूज़िक है। उसके रगों में दौड़ता है म्यूज़िक उस आदमी की।
Warriors of Heaven and Earth, the Chinese film released in 2003, was China's official entry for Oscars. Rahman based its soundtrack on Western classical music and recorded it in Prague.
Working in India with my orchestra was amazing. For almost 12-13 years, I was feeling that I should, when I go for a symphony outside, you listen to all these beautiful orchestras, and I wanted to work with an orchestra. And the Chinese film actually kind of led me to that. And that was the whole exciting part, where you could have an orchestra, you could have the budget, and do your music in the the orchestral style. So it was liberating. It was amazing when I first wrote the love theme, and then when they played it, and then we mixed it. I was feeling really elevated, and things changed after that. Then I worked with many symphony orchestras: Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, Washington, LA Philharmonic, and now Babelsberg Orchestra in Potsdam, and the list goes on now. And I'm getting offers, commissioning works and stuff, which I'm not accepting now because I want to finish all the movies.
Orchestra, can you hear me? How is the volume of the click?
Okay.
I'll go to therapy after this and deal with it. Ah, they laughed, thank goodness.
Every time I watch them, I feel like I go somewhere else. They play the music so beautifully. I forget that it's my music.
Slumdog Millionaire was yet to release. The film that was to put Rahman and Indian film music on the global map. That's when an opportunity came to meet Michael Jackson.
When I came to Los Angeles for the promotion of Slumdog Millionaire, my agent Sam Schwartz said that Michael lives here. I said, really? And because we were so close to, we were almost like friends, my agent. And I said, okay. And he said, my friend is going to manage him. And I said, okay, why don't you arrange a meeting with Michael Jackson? And he said to his assistant, send him an email. AR wants to meet Michael Jackson. I was like, wow, this is great. And nothing happened. It was 2 days before the Oscars. We got a mail saying that, yeah, Michael wants to meet AR. And I said, no, I'm not going to meet him. If I ever win the Oscar, I would meet him. Otherwise, I won't meet him. So I did win the Oscar, and the next day, the meeting was arranged. So I went to his house, and he opened the door for me. It was surreal, with full Michael Jackson dress. And there's classical opera music playing in this house. And we were just sitting and chatting for almost 2 hours. And he was just going on, and I had to literally get up and leave. And then I met him again in another opportunity where he was introducing me to his kids, and he was talking about composing a song together and all this thing. But unfortunately, nothing happened.
Right from Lagan, I often told him that you have to sing one song in each of my movies. I don't care what your contracts are with other music companies, that whether you have exclusivity contracts with them, but with my movies, you have to sing one track. So that's how Chale Chalo came in Lagan, and Ye Jo Desh in Swades, and Khwaja Mere Khwaja in Jodha Akbar.
Be it Roja, Bombay, Tal or Kisna. His flute infused soul into Rahman's musical notes that pierced through hearts. Flutist Naveen Kumar joins us in our next episode. Stay with us.
And sir, anything that you would like to tell us that nobody knows?
I won't tell it.
Is there anything that you would like to change in him, either as a person or as a musician?
Maybe just his punctuality. That's the only thing that I would like to change. That somewhere, I think to a large extent, going to West and working there has brought in that to a large extent. You know, I think he's much more these days when he says, "I'll meet you at 5 o'clock tomorrow." At 5 o'clock, he's there, and I'm so surprised to see him.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, press the bell icon, and stay entertained.